Hello everyone, this is the Final Bosman, and on today's episode, you can pay me today for something I'm going to give you tomorrow, and you can't see it yet. Welcome to the show. I am Kyle Bosman, and this week feeling a little riled up about season passes. Season passes, just to get everyone on the same page here, are of course the practice of selling you an entire year's worth of future DLC on one day, today, for a slight discount. And this is something that a lot of games do. I mean, Call of Duty has season passes, but so does The Last of Us. Every big game essentially has season passes. Every game, except of course, Nintendo games. Until now. Last week, a week and a half before the release of Mario Golf World Tour, Nintendo announced its first ever season pass, and this is for Mario Golf World Tour. And this is, to be honest, the first time in my life I've considered buying a season pass. It got personal. And so for today's episode, I'm digging up an old segment. Kyle, choose a side. Pro season pass versus anti-season pass. Let the games begin. Anti-season pass. This one's pretty easy. Buying anything before it exists is inherently foolish. If you pre-order a game, you're spending $5 and you could take that back if necessary. When you buy a season pass, you're spending money right now that you can't get back on something that isn't there yet. That's usually a bad idea. I remember last year buying BioShock Infinite at GameStop. And when I was checking out, the cashier said, would you like to buy the season pass? And pointed toward this box that just had cards that represented the season pass. Like, if you buy the game and get the card, that's the complete package. There you go. Walk out of the store with all of BioShock Infinite. So much so that this person seemed surprised when I said no thank you to BioShock Infinite season pass. And I guess to that poor cashier's credit, there was a lot to imagine that BioShock Infinite could be. Think of the possibilities. Hours of new gameplay and new stories, characters, abilities, and weapons. About 4 months later, the first bit of BioShock Infinite DLC was revealed, and that was one combat-based thing where just a bunch of enemies appear and you try to get a high score, and a story mission, which of course would take place inside the world of Rapture from the first BioShock game. BioShock Infinite is a game about infinite universes, and we're taking you back to that place you've already been. All right. 4 months after that, it was revealed that this one story mission in Rapture is only part one of 2 parts, and part 2 takes place in the world of Rapture as well, thereby concluding the season pass. Good job, Irrational, we did it. Season pass over with. I have to wonder how successful that season pass would have been if the cards at GameStop simply said, this includes Clash in the Clouds and Burial at Sea parts 1 and 2. $20, please. No, I don't think it would have sold as many, and I think that's a dangerous thing. Funny thing happened this year. Earlier this year, Nintendo had to refund anyone who had bought the season pass for Batman Arkham Origins on Wii U. That is probably the first and only time that there's had been a refund for a season pass. In Nintendo's own words, and what they wrote to everyone who they ended up refunding, they said this: based on demand for downloadable content on the system, Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment has made the decision to remove its offering of the upcoming new story campaign for Wii U. To me, this insinuates, well, yes, one, the Wii U is the most depressing console of the last 10 years. Let's get that out of the way. But also, kind of insinuates that season passes are flexible. That the reason why when we buy a season pass, the publishers don't tell us everything we're getting is that they haven't decided yet. I think that publishers are waiting to see how much money they can make before deciding how much money to spend. And in that sense, when we're buying a season pass, we're just saying, okay, here's some money, and I'll just wait to see what you give me, just whatever it is. And surprisingly, Nintendo wants to get in on this game. They canceled the season pass for Wii U. Now we want to try this too. To their credit, Nintendo is being very clear today about what DLC you'll be getting in the future. They're very straightforward about what this season pass includes. And what that is 3 course packs. So each of these DLC packs includes one character who is vastly superior to any of the characters we get for free. Look at Boo and Bowser Jr. What? As opposed to Nabbit? Why would you make me pay for Nabbit? You know I love Nabbit! Look at this Boo, he's just the Boo. He's any Boo. Just like he's one of the Boos who flew out of the mansion to come play golf today. That's not a character, that's just an enemy. That doesn't count. Bowser Jr., look at this creep. Take your scarf off, you little weirdo. I want to be Nabbit. I gotta pay for Nabbit now. Unbelievable, I did get off track. Every pack includes one character and 2 golf courses. These golf courses, of course, based off golf courses that have previously appeared in Mario Golf. This was a little extra flourish of the 3DS. So each of those packs individually would have cost you $6 and altogether $18 US. However, with the season pass, ladies and gentlemen, you can get all of this for $15 US, or in other words, half of what you spent on the entire game. But that's not all. If you do buy this season pass, you will also get a bonus character, Gold Mario. And what's cool about Gold Mario is that if you use his golden flower shot, you get coins for every yard he hits. It's all about gold, gold, gold. I'm still in a little bit of disbelief. It's weird to me coming from this company. I think for a long time, Nintendo seemed like this company that was too good for your DLC and season passes. And it is clear at this point today that that time is gone. Paved paradise that put up a parking lot. They paved paradise and put up a pro season pass. So yeah, these are hard to defend, right? Basically, one of the things that freaks me out about our modern era of video games is how disposable video games seem to be these days. A game comes out, we consume it, and then we're done with it. Thief 4, how long did you spend on this? 5 years? I beat it, and I'm never gonna have a conversation about it again, ever. That's it. Maybe deservedly so for that one, but that's just, it feels like that's the case. The game comes out, it's past tense, we're done with it. On to the next one. When's next gen start? In a weird way, season passes preserve a game for longer. I mean, the purpose of them is to keep you from taking it back to GameStop and just, well, I spent $30 on this. I'm going to download that DLC and I'm going to play it whether I enjoy it or not, because I am not foolish with my money. I do feel like, for the most part, yes, there are exceptions. There are Rusty's Real Deal Baseball Nightmares. But for the most part, the games we like still begin and end as intended. They aren't affected by their DLC necessarily. And the season passes basically represent everything after the credits. They give the game an extended life. And I feel like that's a pretty good thing, especially if you like that game. I think a really good example, actually, of a good season pass is Call of Duty. Most people who play Call of Duty will buy all of its DLC, and so in getting a season pass, they're saving money. And they seem to actually be doing interesting things with their DLC in unexpected ways, from my perspective at least. It's just, here's our maps, here's our new weapon, oh, and now you'll be able to play as the Predator. Wait, what? From Call of Duty? You're doing that? Neat. Good job. So, in conclusion, am I going to buy the Mario Golf World Tour DLC? Haha, no. Am I mad it exists? No. Am I pro season pass? I think so. I think that if you're playing a multiplayer game that you're going to play all year, season pass, good investment. If you're playing a single player game and you're hoping for an expanded story, that's a risky proposition. With a game like Mario Golf that straddles the line between single and multiplayer, season pass is simply all of more of this. In which, I mean, I think a lot of us have had this experience of playing a game and seeing the credits roll and saying, oh, I wish there was more of this. Well, the technology of today allows us more of this. And if you're into the game and you're pretty sure about what you're going to get, I can't be mad about the proposition of all of more of this for slightly cheaper. So, season passes are A-okay in my book. And while I do support season passes, I feel like that should come issued with a warning to the game makers of today. Yes, season passes, if you're offering that, it does prolong the life of the game, but it also makes the game we buy today feel incomplete. To put it simply, buying a complete thing feels good, and buying an incomplete thing feels less good. If that wasn't clear, I wrote a play that I hope communicates my feelings about this.
Hey, Mario! How come that beautiful space goddess, Rosalina, didn't show up for our golf game? Oh, you have to buy her. What? She cost money. What? That's right. Also, if Rosalina is purchased as part of a pick, we will be able to play golf on 2 new golf courses that are actually remakes of courses we already played in the past. Where do they come from? Money, man. I don't know what to tell you. You buy them and they appear. Wow. And here's the weird thing. If all 3 picks are bought at once, we can play golf with Gold Mario, who is a solid gold version of myself. Like, I can play golf with him. Like, I can show up to a golf course, and there's me, made of gold. I have to deal with it. Mario, are we in some kind of hell? Waluigi, your very existence assured me that we are in some kind of hell.
So essentially, yes, I'm willing to accept the world of Mario Golf if I choose to believe that it all takes place in some sort of hell. That gives me peace. That is the episode for this week. One minor note. On last week's episode, I did say a certain outlawed word when I was reciting a quotation from Phil Spencer. I was aware of the risk, I took it, and one person noticed, of course. And all of the people, guess who it was? Yep, Matrix with an 8. Matrix, of course, is the owner of this building already. And now, Matrix, you get a second building. Let's give you the neighbor. These 2 buildings are now the Matrix buildings. All of the other buildings still belong to me. They're still mine until I say more words I can't say. If you're on Twitter, you can find me at Kyle Bosman. I will be back here next Wednesday. I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching.
Rosalina, I think you are beautiful.
Huh.
It would mean everything to me if you would go on a date with me.
Do you know what? People assume that because I'm beautiful, I get asked out all the time. But you are the first to ever just ask me out on a date.
Does that mean yes?
Yes, it does.
She's late.
My life's a nightmare. I hope I'm dreaming. Feel like I'm sleeping without no bed.